Well, that was embarrassing. That was an embarrassment. That was an embarrassing loss. That was terrible. I mean, hold on. Let me just tweet that we're live right now. For those of you that are listening on Apple, Spotify, please give us a 5-star rating. For those of you on YouTube, please like this video. Please hit that subscribe button. Really helps out the channel. But yeah, let me share this video. That was just a terrible loss for the New York Knicks. Just an embarrassing loss. I mean, from start to finish, the Knicks couldn't hit the side of the backboard tonight. They were just awful in so many ways. And it started in that first quarter, really. I mean, you had Julius Randle in that first quarter. He had a good scoring first quarter. He scored 15 points in that first quarter, but he turned the ball over a ton in that first quarter. It was honestly the worst 15-point first quarter I've ever seen from Julius Randle. He had a few turnovers. He made some stupid spin move in that first quarter that just created a bunch of fast breaks for the Nets tonight. And look, he shot well from three tonight. 4 of 8 from three, 50%. His shooting was Julius Randle. The numbers are misguiding. He scored 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists in 31 minutes. But if you watch the game, it didn't look like any of that. He was turning the ball over a lot. It's just the same of what we've seen from Randle. But I'm not going to blame Randle tonight for tonight's loss. This game was on everybody, right? Jalen Brunson was forcing it a lot, along with R.J. Barrett. Cam Reddish didn't hit a shot tonight. R.J. Barrett, 5 of 14 from the field, 16 points. Jalen Brunson, 14 points, 4 of 14. Jalen Brunson in that third quarter especially was forcing the action a lot, forcing it a lot. And he just needed to run the offense. That's all we need you to do is run the offense. Slow it down. If your shot's not falling, just run a simple offense. And the Knicks tonight couldn't get a simple offense at all. Like, it was that first half was painful to watch, honestly. That first half of basketball from the New York Knicks was very painful. The New York Knicks should have paid us to watch that first half. That's how bad it was. I just was up here shaking my head. I really couldn't believe it. After that victory versus Minnesota, the New York Knicks come out and lay an egg against the Brooklyn Nets. And it sucks because you could have made a statement tonight. Tonight could have been a statement win. The Nets have now won 8 games in a row against the New York Knicks. 8 games in a row. I mean, they have our number. Is it really a rivalry at this point if they won 8 games in a row? The New York Knicks could have came out tonight, made a statement, got a victory. A lot of stuff going on in Brooklyn. Could have made it 2 in a row, going back home to face 2 opponents that you should be able to beat, but didn't happen. Laid an egg. The Knicks are 2-4 on the road. Just terrible performance, up and down, defensively, offensively. It doesn't get as bad as tonight. They only scored 85 points. They shot 27% from 3. They shot 32% from the field, 65% from the free throw line. They missed 9 free throws. And look, the Nets aren't a scary team, right? They have Kevin Durant, and obviously Kevin Durant does super godly things. He's a superstar. We know what Kevin Durant does. Drops a triple-double tonight, of course. And, of course, their point guard, Schumer, career high, 18 points, 5 rebounds. It seems like every other game there's somebody scoring a career high on the Knicks or just playing really well against the Knicks. And the Knicks defensively all season has it as a whole, it's been a disaster for the Knicks. Their defense has been bad. It's been really bad. Oxley in the chat. Julius isn't taking the game seriously. I agree. I mean, He's all smiles. He's he's a different person from last year mentally, but he's the same guy. At the end of the day, he's the same person. Julius Randle, the numbers show that he had a good game, right? If you just did not watch the game and looked at the box score, you see Julius Randle 24 points, 11 rebounds. Oh, okay, and nobody in the Knicks did anything else. That's not the case. You look at the 4 turnovers. There were a bunch of isolation plays that Julius Randle the offense was stuck. Julius Randle couldn't. I mean, he was turning the ball over constantly, and he was taking some shots that Julius Randle takes all the time. And, it's just tiring to see at this point. It really is. I tweeted out a video earlier of Julius Randle. He had a one-on-one matchup in the post, backs his guy down, spins around again, jumps in the air, turns the ball over. It's just frustrating with Julius Randle. And, I mean, at this point, he is I don't want to say he is what he is, because he's shown us that early in the season that he's improved a little bit. But when you have games like this, it's just on the eyes. It's just tough to see offensively. I just want to cry at this moment. Yeah, man. The Knicks didn't show up tonight. And as a Knicks fan, it hurts because, as soon as you think they turn the corner, they go right back. It was just bad, man. It was a terrible game all around. Starting lineup was bad. And you see Tom Thibodeau is still stubborn to not pull them. Tom Thibodeau is still in his stubborn mind. The starters are not playing well. And what does Thibs do? He still rides them. He still is holding out that hope that hopefully they can turn it around, or hopefully they can, push the deficit to 10 points. But it just never happened all night. And I just wish Thibs would just pull the trigger sooner. Nights like these, your starters shouldn't be playing over 30 minutes a game. RJ Barrett, rough game for him. Brunson, Randall, Cam Reddish, terrible. Like, all in all, Jericho Sims actually had a pretty solid game tonight, filling in for the injured Mitchell Robinson. But I just wish Tom Thibodeau would go to the bench unit sooner. I just don't understand it. Like, you're not playing well defensively, and then you tell us Quentin Grimes before the game is going to be used periodically. And what happens? The Knicks are down 30, and that's when you play Quentin Grimes. Make it make sense. Like, this is the second game now when Quentin Grimes is back from his sore left foot, and he's supposed to be playing periodically, and you put him in when the Knicks are down 30. That whole Quentin Grimes situation is just weird to me. I don't know what is going on. I think there's more to this story that they're telling us, but I just don't understand it at all. Like, the Knicks could have used his defense tonight. Hell, put in Deuce. Deuce McBride plays defense. Put in Deuce. Put in the players that play defense. I mean, granted, you don't have, like 5 players off the bench that play defense, but you have players off the bench that play with heart, and they play with energy, and they actually give a damn about playing defense. Deuce McBride should have been in this game sooner. He plays defense. If you're going to tell me Quentin Grimes was available and you put him in the game when the Knicks are down 30, he plays defense, right? Those two guys are your elite defenders, and you didn't put him in the game, and it's just frustrating. It really is frustrating. And, I mean, Derrick Rose, I hate to say it, but Derrick Rose this season, I'm concerned with Derrick Rose. He hasn't looked good. He hasn't looked the same. I don't know if age is catching up to him. Every other game, he shows us little things here and here. But Derrick Rose, I'm starting to get concerned with Rose. I'm starting to. He came in a game before Quickly. That I don't agree with. I think Emmanuel Quickly should have came in the game before Rose, because Rose right now is really struggling. It was being masked by the Knicks victories, but I think Derrick Rose, something is up with Rose. He's just he looks He looks off at this point. He doesn't look like the Derrick Rose from last year or the season before that. And I see some people are showing their frustrations on Twitter with Rose, and hell, I'm concerned as well because Derrick Rose, great player. We know the Derrick Rose that we've been missing, right? 2 years ago, Derrick Rose carried this Knicks team, and we're not seeing that Derrick Rose this year. And the Knicks desperately missed that, especially if Quickly is not hitting his shots. And this was the first game that Quickly was off, right? Quickly has been one of the most consistent Knicks players throughout the whole season. And first bad game in a while since the Memphis game. Emmanuel Quickly, 0 of 6 from 3, 1 of 8 from the field. He did add 4 assists and 4 rebounds, but there was just no ball movement. All around, it was just a stagnant offense, stagnant game. Defensively, the Knicks were awful. They were awful. There's no way other to put it. They were bad. And like I said before, this could have been a statement game for the Knicks, a statement victory. They could have came out, showed us something. Like, we can't beat the Nets at this point. I don't know what it is. Like, it's something in the air in Brooklyn. Like, they've lost 8 games in a row against Brooklyn now. And, hey, it's just unfortunate. On the Brooklyn side, Kevin Durant, superstar. This is why you keep Kevin Durant, right? 29 points, 12 assists, 12 rebounds. No one was stopping Kevin Durant. Efficient. He just does what Kevin Durant does. He's a superstar. He's a great player in this league. And there was times in that third quarter where Julius Randle was guarding Kevin Durant. I don't know why. It seems like Tom Thibodeau was just sticking anyone on Durant at that point. But great game out of Durant on the net side. And Seth Curry came in off the bench. 23 points for the Nets. I mean, he was looking like his brother tonight. He had 6 threes tonight. The Knicks just can't defend a 3. They just, to save their life, they just can't. They allow Seth Curry to hit 6 of them off the bench, 23 points. Schumer, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Schomer, 3 threes, and he's not a good 3-point shooter. Joe Harris had 2 threes. Look, the Nets, they only hit 14 threes, but they did it efficiently. They hit it at a 41% rate. The Knicks, not so much. That third quarter, they couldn't hit a shot to save their life. They were missing everything. And, yeah, let's just walk through this game. So I'm going to just go through my notes. But appreciate you guys listening on YouTube. If you haven't done something already, please like this video. Subscribe to the channel on Facebook. Appreciate y'all over there. We are now on Apple and Spotify. So after this post game, I'm going to post it up on the podcast. So once again, appreciate all of you guys that are listening. But yeah, let's just go through my notes. The Knicks gave up 38 first quarter points in this game. The Nets scored 38 points in the first quarter. Once again, the Knicks couldn't defend a 3. They can't defend, and that's a problem, especially if your coach is Tom Thibodeau and you can't defend. That either tells me one thing, like maybe the players have checked out on Thibs, right? Has anyone ever thought about maybe the players are just over it? Maybe they've checked out because the Knicks this year defensively hasn't been good. It hasn't been great. And maybe they're not responding to Tom Thibodeau. I don't know. I don't know what it is. They just look a step slow this year, and they're not responding to Thibodeau. So that's a huge issue in itself, and that's a problem. That's a problem. Julius Randle, once again, scored 15 points in the first quarter, but once again, it was like the most asinine first. Like he scored, and if he didn't score in 15 points in that first quarter, the Knicks would have been down by even more. But on the other end, defense was bad, turnovers were bad. Overall, just not a great game for Julius. First half, absolutely brutal. No flow to the offense, no flow to the defense. Terrible. I was watching the first half, and I just couldn't believe coming from that Minnesota game. The Knicks played well, pretty much all 4 quarters in that Minnesota game. The Knicks played efficient. They were hitting the three at a high clip. Defensively, they were solid. The Minnesota game was a good game for the Knicks, a good get-right game. They needed that win. And then you thought, okay, tonight, the Nets, they're not really playing well. They're kind of reeling a little bit. Let's go to Brooklyn, steal a win, and go back home and see what happens. Didn't happen. So that stinks. Yeah. Terrible first half. So in the third quarter, like I said, I don't understand why Thibodeau is sticking with his guys for such a long period of time. And he's been doing this. This is Tom Thibodeau, right? I don't want to keep harping on it. I don't want to say maybe it's my fault for not understanding why he does certain things. This is who he is. He's not going to change. It is what it is. He's not. The day he changes is the day that he's not going to be a coach of the New York Knicks. It's that simple. Tom Thibodeau is not going to change his ways. He's going to keep coaching how he wants to coach. And right now, it's not working. So I don't know if the Knicks continue with him throughout the year. I don't know if there's a change mid-season. I don't know if there's a change soon. But it seems like the Knicks defensively are not responding to him. And they're not playing well on that side of the court at all. And it's just frustrating to watch as a fan. And I'm sure you guys are watching the same thing I'm watching. It's just awful, terrible, just awful, awful, awful. Yeah, the Knicks picked a hell of a time to play their worst game of the year, right? National television. This game was on ESPN. It was a disaster. It was a bad game. I mean, I'm down on it. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there are down on it, but it's still early in the season. There's still some things to correct. I want to see if the Knicks can correct some things, mostly on the defensive end. But they also got to fix this offense, man, because when you have guys that need the ball to score, like Brunson and Randall, this was a problem coming into the season that we were all worried about, right? When you have Brunson, who is a high usage player, Barrett is he's not a high usage player, but at this point, I think Barrett is like a small forward and just standing in the corner waiting for his shot, and I don't think that's the Barrett that we need to see. I want to see more aggression out of RJ Barrett. I just don't want to see him spotting up for three. Granted, he's fixed his shot. Seems like over these last few games, RJ Barrett has really improved his three-point shot, which is very, very nice to see. And overall, I just want to see more aggression from Barrett. He's still not finishing. I mean, the numbers show that he's finishing at the rim efficiently, but tonight there was a few times where he turned the ball over when he was driving in the lane, a few times where he got blocked. So, yeah. But, yeah, when you have Randall, Barrett, Brunson is a high usage player. And sometimes Brunson forces it a lot. He does. And most of the times he forces a lot, but he makes it up for his shooting and he makes it up for his scoring. And tonight he wasn't scoring. So you see it more that he's forcing. And I just want Brunson to sometimes take a step back, run the offense, and just chill. We don't need you to go out there and score 25 to 30 points a night. We have plenty of people on this team that can score. And we just need Brunson to just let the offense come to him. And it seems like Brunson isn't doing that. Tonight he forced it a lot, especially when your shot isn't falling. It's just apparent. It's more apparent seeing that. Cam Reddish, bad game out of Cam Reddish, which is unfortunate because last game versus the Timberwolves, he did play a good game, even though he didn't score that much. Defensively, last game, he did play a really great game defensively. So Cam Reddish didn't score tonight, but I don't know the direction the Knicks are going in. Like, are they going to start Cam Reddish or are they going to start Quentin Grimes when he's healthy? Did this give Tom Thibodeau a different feeling? Like next game is Grimes. Now that Grimes is back and supposedly good to go, are you going to start Grimes or are you going to keep starting Reddish? Me personally, I don't trust Grimes, so I'm just going to keep riding Cam Reddish. And that's just me personally. I think Cam Reddish will snap out of this funk offensively. We know that he's a good offensive player. He's shown it before. I just think right now nothing is clicking on the offensive end. And it's just, nothing's clicking. And that's affecting Reddish. That's affecting Brunson. And when nothing's clicking, it's also affecting Barrett. So Isaiah Hartenstein comes in off the bench. Second bad game for Hartenstein. It was just a bad game all around. I mean, Obi Toppin, I would like to see him play more, but we know what it is at this point. Tom Thibodeau, 21 minutes for Obi Toppin tonight. Disgrace. To me, that's an embarrassment because when you starters aren't having it, you play the youth. You want to see Obi Toppin play more than he should have played, honestly, 30 minutes tonight, and we didn't see that. But we all know that it is what it is, right? It's Tom Thibodeau. Let's go through this together. Let me share my screen. For those of you listening, I'm just sharing my screen right now. Let's go through the team stats overall. Knicks as a team, 32%, 27% from three, 65% from the line. 65% from the line, 46 rebounds. This is what pisses me off. The Nets are, I think, one of the worst rebounding teams in the league, yet they outscored the Knicks by 9 tonight, 55-46. Just one of those nights, man. Honestly, one of those nights, and frustrating. Nets were also passing the ball a lot. Knicks had no answers for them passing the ball offensively. They were really sharing the ball really well tonight, and it showed up in the box score. Nets had 30 assists, 11 steals for the Nets, 5 blocks. Each team with 15 total turnovers. So points in the paint, 40-30. It goes to Brooklyn. It was a very quick game, actually. Not too many fouls on either side. Largest lead. The Knicks never led in this game. The Nets led this game by as much as 35 points. Just a slaughter from Brooklyn. A slaughter. They came into the game, slaughtered the Knicks. Like I said, it was unfortunate because I wanted to see the Knicks come in, make a statement, beat Brooklyn. Brooklyn's going through a lot of things right now. You just won against Minnesota. This was one of those games where you could have came in and won, but you got absolutely dismantled. And credit to the Nets, credit to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant does what he does. Credit to them, man. They came into tonight, took care of the Knicks. Didn't look really from the start of the first quarter. They really never looked back. They took the lead early. They were leading by a lot. Never looked back. So credit to the Nets all around. They played a really solid game. Like I said, in that first quarter, they scored 38 points, 31 in the second, 23 in the third, 20 in the fourth. They didn't really need a score in the fourth quarter. So, as a Knicks fan, I'm very disappointed. It was an absolute embarrassment. Like, watching that game tonight was terrible. I don't know what I just watched, like, honestly. I honestly don't know what we were watching tonight. Nothing was working. Rotations were bad. Starting lineup was bad. Bench was bad. Everything was bad. Just one of those games, man. Like, and this has happened twice now this year. Knicks have now played 11 games. They're 5-6. They are what they are. You are what you are. You are what your record says you are. You're average. Right now, you're below average. Something has to click. Something has to go right. You got to fix something. Otherwise, things are not going to snowball in the right direction like you want them to. You have to fix your offense. It's stagnant. Go back to the drawing board. Run the offense through Brunson. I believe in Jalen Brunson although he forced it a lot of times tonight. I believe in him. Running through Brunson, and Julius Randle is also the guy that just has to chill and can't force it. When Julius Randle forces it, sometimes he scores like he did tonight, but it just shuts down the entire offense when Randle is forcing it, and it just everyone's standing around watching Julius Randle just either score the basketball or make a fool out of himself. That's what you're doing. So, yeah, the Knicks have to pick it up offensively and defensively. Overall, tonight, bad night. I think my player of the game will go to, unfortunately, on the Brooklyn side. You have to give it to Kevin Durant, triple-double. No Knicks showed up tonight. They don't deserve any props or any praises, except Sims. I give Jericho Sims a little props. Under the circumstances, comes in, starts again, plays really well. I just want to see, like, I don't understand, like, the Knicks have this guy, even with Mitch. They have Mitchell Robinson, they have Jericho Sims, run a damn pick and roll, throw an alley hoop to these guys. These guys can jump out of the gym. Jericho Sims can jump out of the gym. He should be dunking like 5 to 7 times a game. Jericho Sims is capable of doing that. The Knicks have to simplify their offense, and it just gets complicated at times, and it's really hard to watch because their starting lineup isn't filled with a lot of efficient shooters. So when you have non-efficient shooters in your starting lineup and your bench isn't scoring, even though I'm not worried about your bench because I know Quickly has been consistent, Obi has been consistent. It was just one of those nights. So just have to chalk it up as a bad loss, man. You really do. Once again, if you're on YouTube, hit that like button. Really helps out the channel. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, give us a 5-star review. I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. If you haven't done so already, please follow us on Twitter at Knicks Nation. Really simple. At Knicks Nation on YouTube. We're going to be here all year doing post games. And I don't want to, tonight was just awful. And it puts everyone in a bad mood, puts me in a bad mood. And I don't want to come on here. And honestly, when the Knicks lose like this, there's nothing really to talk about other than bash your team. And you don't want to come on here and just bash everybody. But tonight they deserve it. Coach deserves it. Starting 5 deserves it. Bench deserves it. Everyone deserves bashing tonight. And they didn't play well. Like, I don't want to come on here and bash them, but if it's deserved, you got to. And you got to call out the players that are just not playing well. And even the coach. To be honest with you, I don't think Thibs is lasting. I don't think he's going to last. I really don't. Whether that's due to the front office not getting him the players that take to for his system or what he wanted to do, I don't know, but I don't see him lasting. Just due to the fact that he's ruined Obi Toppin, I think. Even though Obi is a really young, upcoming, I think, star, he doesn't play him, and I think it's a shame. It really is. But at this point, what are you gonna do as a Knicks fan? You just take it day by day. Hope they get it right. Hope they flip the script. Hope they can start to stack some of these wins instead of stacking losses, because it's just not what I want to see. It's just bad, and it can get ugly. Let's go to the next schedule. I think they're back home, and they have a couple of games coming up that are winnable. So yeah, so you have Detroit, and then you have OKC at home. Got to take care of business. Don't care. Got to win those games. No excuses. If the Knicks lose both of these games, something has to change. I know it's early, but Pistons are bad. Thunder are bad. You should win these games, get back over 500, get on the winning track, and then you hit the West Coast. And then you hit a daunting task. You go on the West Coast. So you got to get these wins at home. Take care of home court advantage. Taking care of home court advantage is very important. So got to get these wins at home, man. Detroit, beat them. OKC, beat them. Then it gets to be a daunting task at Utah. Utah Jazz are surprising everybody right now. They're surprising the league. They're playing really well. They traded away Mitchell. They traded away Gobert, and they're still winning. And they have a boatload of picks. And they're probably going to get more picks at the trading deadline by trading away Claxton. Not Claxton. The point guard. His name is escaping me. But, yeah. Then you have at Denver, at Golden State, at Phoenix. Doesn't get easy. It does not get easy. It doesn't. I mean, take care of your business at home. Win these games at home. Worry about the road when it gets here. But whenever you go on the West Coast, you know it's a daunting task. And those three teams right there, right now, are their playoff teams. They're playoff contenders. You take it game by game, right? You don't look too far ahead because anything can happen in this league. Anything can happen in the NBA. It's just they go through this West Coast trip early on in the season. Get it over with, right? Just get it over with. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Once again, Knicks lose to the Brooklyn Nets 112-85. If you're on Apple Music, if you're on Apple Podcast, Spotify, please give us a 5-star review. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. It really helps out the channel. Once again, I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. Appreciate you guys sticking through with this post game. And yeah, man, just chopping it up with me. Appreciate you guys. I'll be here next game versus Detroit Pistons on Friday. So once again, have a good night. Tough loss, embarrassing loss. I mean, yeah, not really much to say at this point for the Knicks. They just got to go home and get it together and hopefully start to get things rolling at home. Then once again, you go on that West Coast trip. So look, take it day by day. Got to get your offense fixed. Got to get your defense fixed. And just worry about all. I think your defense is the number one priority right now. I honestly think that you're not responding well to Thibodeau, whether that's on purpose or what, or the players are just not capable of playing defense. Just you have to get your defense fixed, because if you don't mask your defense with the good offense, it's going to be a long year. So get your defense fixed, and then your offense will come. Your offense will flow. Jalen Brunson, not worried about him. Barrett, he'll get it together. So, yeah, we'll be back on Friday. Once again, appreciate you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys for checking me out. I'm Anthony. Have a good night. Peace. Stay safe.